Today we're going to be talking about our egg drop challenge. We're so excited to get started with you. We have to learn some things first. What is STEM? Have you ever heard of it? STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math, and covers a wide array of careers and courses of study. Today we're focusing on engineering. What is engineering? What do you think about when you think of engineering? Engineering means using science and mathematics to solve problems to improve the world around us. The engineering design process is something engineers use every day and involves making prototypes and testing them to see what can be improved. Mechanical engineers are a special type of engineer that build machines, while aerospace engineers focus on things that travel through air and water, such as planes, boats, and rockets. Both of these types of engineers solve everyday problems. Our goal today is to drop an egg from high up in the air and keep it from breaking. How do you think we're going to do that? Brainstorm some ideas. But before we get started, we're going to talk about a few more topics that are super important to being successful today. Let's think about things that fly. What are some things you can think of? Some ideas I have are airplanes with passengers, skydivers with parachutes, kites, hot air balloons, and birds. Did you think of anything different? Gravity is a force that pulls objects towards the earth. Let's think about what happens when you drop something. Why do you think it falls down? It's because of the force of gravity. Now let's think about air. Air is matter, which means it's stuff. When the wind blows, you feel it pushing on you. Air isn't nothing, it's something, which means it has to get out of the way when you're dropping something through the air. It's kind of like when water pushes you. This is what's called drag. Drag is a force of air pushing back on you as you try to move through it. Think about a parachuter when they're traveling through the air. We're going to use the force of drag to slow down our eggs on their descent. A parachuter is going to be traveling faster before they open their parachute and will use their parachute to slow down as they get close to the earth. A way to test drag is by doing a little experiment. Crumple up one piece of paper and leave one piece of paper flat. Drop them both at the same time. Which reaches the ground faster? What happens? The next thing we're going to talk about is cushion. Cushion is a great way to protect our egg when it's falling through the air. What do you think would happen if we dropped an egg on a pavement? What about a soft pillow? The pillow is going to slow down the egg so that all the impact doesn't happen at once, thus protecting the egg from getting cracked. What are some different ways you think we can cushion our egg? The cushion is going to make the force of the impact smaller. What you're going to need is an egg or two, 3 plastic grocery bags, scissors, tape, a plastic cup, decorating supplies, and a parrot for help. The first step is to take tape. You're going to cut a piece of tape that is 3 to 4 inches long. This is what you're going to use to secure the handle on the side of the cup. Take the grocery bag and find the seam of the handle. Align this seam up and down the side of the cup. For the most security, tape starting over the lip of the cup, across the seam, and down the cup. Once you have finished, you're going to repeat this step again by cutting a second piece of tape the same length as the first and taping the second handle to the cup. It is important to tape the second handle directly across from the first one. This will ensure that the parachute will be balanced when it falls. Again, finding the seam and taping over the lip of the cup, across the seam, and down the side of the cup. Next, we're going to test to see if our parachute is balanced. Grab the top 2 corners of the parachute bag. See how the cup is tilted? That's not what we're looking for. You need to adjust your handles. When you're completely balanced, you'll be able to see that the cup sits directly up and down when you hold the top of the parachute. Next, we're going to decorate. We chose a flying WV. Now take 1 grocery bag and place it in the bottom of the cup. Now take your egg, hard-boiled or raw for a little bit of a mess, and wrap in a second grocery bag. These grocery bags will serve as a cushion for our egg to protect it from a fall. Next, take another piece of tape and place it across the top of the cup, over both sides. This will help to ensure that the egg is unable to exit the cup during any point of the descent. And now you're ready to drop your egg. Now before our final test, grab a parent and find a good place to drop your parachute. Make sure you hold it from the top for your best results. Here are some ideas of where to test your parachute. Over the side of an open staircase, out a window, sitting on the bed of a truck, or from the top of a slide or playground. You want to find a location about 5 feet off the ground to start off. And then, once you've dropped, it's time to look at your results. Take your egg out of your cup and see what happened to it. Is it still completely intact, or does it maybe have a few cracks in it? If it's still together, do you think you can find a higher location to drop it from? If it cracked, how do you think you can improve your design? Keep in mind, when engineers solve problems, they use the engineering design process and very rarely get it right on the first try. Take a look at our drop. What do you think would happen? Let's ask ourselves a few what-if questions. How do you think you can add 2 parachutes? What do you think would happen? What if you tried to put 2 eggs in your basket instead of 1? How do you think you would do that? Do you think you need a new basket? And what do you think would happen if you dropped it from a higher height? Try to answer these questions with experiments. Great job! Thanks for doing a fun project with us. We are so happy that we could put this together for you. Let us know how your project went by posting your final design and height on Instagram with our hashtag WVU Girls STEM Week. Dream big and never stop experimenting.